Okay, so this is new for me to use. Okay, so the videos I watch were maximizing target language use, why and how, and but what about grammar? So, um, maximizing our target use. We're helping learners process input. That is the first thing we're doing. We want to be clear on what we're doing. We're going to scaffold it. We're going to have realistic and relevant expectations. We are going to be at their content level of the students. It's going to be natural for the students and meaningful for the students, right? Genuine content and at their proficiency level. If you have questions about these, you can certainly see me later, but you're all educators. You all know what I'm talking about. We're going to focus on linguistics proficiency. We want, according to ACTFL, 90% of the target language in the classroom and 10% of the shared language. That's for educators and that's for students. Is there room for L1? Yes, there is room for shared language. There's room for shared language when students don't understand something. I say, oh, ich habe mein Kuli. And Frank says, what's a Kuli? So, ich habe mein Blatt Kuli. Das ist mein Kuli. Ich schreibe mit mein Kuli. Okay, now you all know that Kuli is a pen. So, use everything you've got. Use your face for happy and sad. Use your pen for Kuli. Use hand language for rivers. Use for book. Now, you might have to go to the shared language. If you're doing that, maybe you have a baby chick in your hands. That was what they're thinking. No, that's a book. So there is room. We want them to understand. They need to know why we're doing what we're doing this. It has to mean something to them personally. If it doesn't, it's not going to mean nothing in the class is going to be a waste and they'll check out. We're reading that all over the place. Oh, the teacher says, I have cool, relevant, relatable input for everyone. They're pretty excited about that. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about the American version of, or the Europe version of American Idol, Eurovision. Oh, they're sort of interested in that. We're going to talk about smooth jazz. 10% of people or the students will be interested in that, and you'll lose 90% of the students. We want them to be, yay, now I'm interested, I want to continue learning about this. I'm going to have some of this new cool input about Eurovision. Now I'm going to have some output with it too. This is exciting. But remember, we want to push them just beyond their level. User level, and then push them just beyond. Be intentional. Always know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what are the students doing with this information. In my German class, they're going to be exposed to a lot of German. With that exposure, they're going to have some comprehensible input. With some of that input, they're going to process some of that input, and then with that process input, they're going to actually acquire a bit of it. We wish it was the other way around, but we know that that's not how our brains work. Now, teaching grammar. Oh, I want to know about this because I love the German grammar. But teaching grammar exclusively is putting the cart before the horse. Oh, but that's the way we learned. And I love that they use the word legacy instead of old-fashioned. It was a legacy way, but new research and new information is coming out about how our brains work, how language is processed and learned. Explicit is out, implicit is in. And that implicit knowledge is that spontaneous knowledge that they're coming about in spontaneously, implicitly learning that knowledge. The goal is for all of us to develop implicit knowledge, and they'll gain that grammar knowledge with that implicit knowledge. Is there common ground for explicit to be used along with implicit? Yes. Those exceptions, that's a great thing. So I didn't explicitly teach modal verbs in the classroom, right? We're not supposed to do that. But the students know implicitly that do always has an ST. So du sollst. It would never be ich sollst. Ich soll. Now that is an exception. It doesn't have an E at the end. So this is not ich solle. No, it's ich soll. So that is the time for some of that implicit knowledge or explicit knowledge to be developed so they implicitly get that information. Also, that's the time for that shared language, perhaps. It always happens this way, except when. So there are grammar drills. Nope, no form meaning connections. There are three methods of this thinking. There's structured input, and that is where the learners are going to do something with the input that they've got. There is pace. Pace is presentation. Student, sort of talks about what we're doing. The attention, focus on that language form through the topic theme or the discussion of the theme. There's co-construction. The teachers and students are going to together come up with that grammatical explanation. And then there's extension. So you have worked all day on past tense and present tense. Oh, the extension is, okay, you're going to write a text to your best friend about what you're doing today and what you did yesterday. Oh, present and past. The takeaway from all this is, how are we going to stay in the target language? We're going to focus on increasing the students' commitment with engagement in the target language. We want them engaged, interested, ready to go. Why are they doing this? What are they going to do with it? Remember our goals: inform, reflect, and inspire. The takeaway from grammar: lead with what we want to communicate, not with how we want to do it. Lead with the horse. Grammar's that cart, and grammar will come along when the horse gets there. The grammar's there. It's amazing. Always we want proficiency over perfection. Our questions are, how are we going to assess all this? Well, that is a good question, and that is a question for another time. Thank you very much.